I have never tasted fish pie, Nigerian fish pie, as tasty as this. Guys, welcome to this video. I want you to sit tight and enjoy how I successfully made a Nigerian fish pie with using just few ingredients I had in the house. Mind you, I'm still an amateur, I'm still learning. Yes. So in this fish pie, I actually used sardine fish, I used onion, and I used some seasoning. You know, I love herbs. The seasoning I mean is herbs. Okay, welcome guys to my channel once again. I appreciate you for all you keep doing for me. To my returning subscribers, you are just wonderful. You are just awesome. Thank you so much. For those that are watching and yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? This is the channel where it happens. You know, I give you tips on how to survive in life. I give you healthy tips. I teach you how to make things for yourself. You don't have to go spend so much money buying things for your family. You can do it at home like I'm doing. So this is fish pie, Nigerian way. I don't know how you do it, but this is a Nigerian way of making fish pie. African, Nigerian way of making fish pie. Yes, this is yeast. In the description box, I'm going to give you details of the things I used for this fish pie, and it came out so well. This is me soaking the yeast for 5 minutes with warm water. You know, as I finished soaking the yeast, I went on to mix the flour. So this is 4 cups of flour, 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. I didn't use salt because the butter I used is also already salted, so it won't be so salty. Yeah, so I had to mix the salt and sugar to combine properly before I added the butter. I used 60-gram butter. Yes, in this recipe I'm supposed to use more than this, but I don't like too much butter in whatever I do. I don't like it, so I used 60 gram because I'd already used some oil to fry the chicken, sorry, the fish base. So if I add so much, it will be so oily. I bet you, if you, as you're sitting and watching this, it came out so well. Yeah, so I've mixed, still mixing the butter. You allow the butter to really incorporate, you know. I went back to check the yeast. This is yeast mixed in warm water. 1 cup of warm water, 1 cup, 2 tablespoons of warm water is what I used to mix the yeast. I didn't use milk, I didn't use eggs for this recipe. It's just a traditional recipe. So I started mixing the yeast with the dry ingredients. That's the flour and the sugar. No, I didn't use baking powder because I'm using yeast. Yes, it was easy to work with because the flour is not much. You know, it was very easy to mix. But if you're doing it on a commercial basis, you're going to watch your ingredients. Otherwise, you're not going to make profits. And of course, in business, you do your business for profits. Yes, you're not government that service delivery. Business is solely for profit. But this is not for business. This is for home enjoyment. If you know, you know. Yes, I was still mixing it, ensuring that all the ingredients combine properly. You know, not so difficult to mix. In fact, it's interesting. You know, it's an art. I always tell people that cooking is an art because you want to make it come out so well. Yes, you need to make it come out well, and the idea, the time and effort, knowledge you put into making your food come out well is the art behind it. So I'm almost done mixing the dough. You can see it's still thick, it's not watery. So I had to cover it with a leather sheet and also used a covering cloth, and I kept it in a warm place after this so that it will rise up, even though it's self raising flour, and it actually rose up. You can see me punching it and mixing again before going ahead to cut. I had to mix again. It's necessary you mix in case you had not mixed it very well initially. Yeah, so I'm putting some flour on the base I'll use to work. Otherwise, this flour will just the dough will just be gumming. So I had to cut it into sections to make it easier for me to work with. Yeah, divided it into 2 equal parts initially. And to make it easier to work with, I sectioned it into several smaller segments to be easy to I'm not kneading again. I'm just going to roll. I'm going to flatten and add the fish seasoning I'd already done, because it's a fish pie. It's a fish pie. If you're using meat, you can use meat, you can use fish, you can use chicken, whichever way you want. But I decided to use fish because that is what I had in the house. I always use what I have in the house. I don't need to break any bank or go spend money somewhere to get what I want to eat. Yes, so I had sectioned it into some parts and getting ready to flatten it before we fry. So guys, it's good to eat your money. Eat your money. Eat your money. Don't allow anybody to eat your sweat. When you go out in the morning, you work, you struggle to make ends meet, you still go and save that money in the bank without eating. What is the color of your problem? I'm not saying you should not invest or you should not save. It's good to invest, and it's good to save too for, rainy days. It's very good to save, but you cannot be keeping money in the bank when belle they do hunger. So this is the fish. I did it in the earlier part of the video. I just used some onion and some herbs, and it came out so well, so well. It's not watery. Don't make it watery, otherwise it will be watery in the dough. Yes. So I just folded it quietly. So simple, no too much drama. I don't like drama in my life. No too much drama. Folded it and kept it. This was the first one I did. I had to take my time to make sure it doesn't open. Yeah, to make sure it doesn't open when it enters the fire. Yeah, we continued. We did different shapes. You can do any shape you want. You can do a round pie. You can do a half circle pie. You can do a rectangle pie like what I'm doing now. It's your own choice, So we're almost done with this. This is it. For 4 cups of flour, we had like 8 pieces of yummylicious pie. Yeah, the oil is hot enough to fry. So that's just it. Thank you guys. God bless you. I love you.